People laugh. Not a small laugh, a loud, careless, almost mocking laugh. Seriously? You still believe Jesus is coming back? The music is playing, friends are joking, phones are glowing. Life looks perfectly normal. Coffee shops full, traffic moving, late-night parties, streaming shows, bills to pay, deadlines to hit. Everything feels ordinary. And in the middle of all that noise, someone quietly says, "I think we're closer than ever." They roll their eyes. Bro, people have been saying that for 2,000 years. Another one smirks. If the rapture was real, it would have happened already. Someone else laughs louder. Just live your life. Stop being scared of the sky. And just like that, faith becomes a joke. Belief becomes old-fashioned. Hope becomes delusional. Culture decides what's logical, not scripture. What's popular, not truth. What feels good, not what's eternal. On one side of the street, there's music, flashing lights, people celebrating like tomorrow is guaranteed. On the other side, a small group quietly praying. No spotlight, no applause, no hype. Just faith, just trust, just hearts that whisper, "Lord, keep us ready." Because they're not afraid, they're not hiding, they're not running from life. They're simply aware that this world isn't permanent, aware that everything we see can change in 1 second, aware that history has always looked normal right before everything changed. Think about it. In Noah's time, people were eating, drinking, marrying, laughing until the rain started. In Lot's time, people were buying, selling, planning their future until fire fell from the sky. Normal. It's always normal before the shift. And maybe that's why most people miss it, because they expect chaos first. They expect sirens. They expect warning signs. But what if it's just another regular Tuesday? Sun shining, birds singing, kids going to school, someone scrolling their phone, someone arguing, someone praying quietly in their room, and somewhere, heaven is preparing something bigger than humanity has ever seen. Not with noise, not with drama, but with divine timing. You see, culture teaches, enjoy now, forget later. But faith whispers, prepare now, forever matters. Culture says, YOLO. Faith says, your soul lives forever. Culture says, don't think about judgment. Faith says, be ready to meet your Savior. Two completely different mindsets, two completely different futures. And the craziest part? Both groups are standing on the same earth, breathing the same air, watching the same sky. But only one group is watching with expectation. The other is distracted, scrolling, laughing, doubting, because waiting feels foolish to them, until suddenly it isn't. Imagine this, a loud sound, not from speakers, not from the street, something deeper, something that shakes your chest, like reality itself just cracked open. The sky doesn't look the same, light brighter than sunlight, air heavier than before. Time feels strange, like the world paused for half a heartbeat. People look around confused. What was that? Cars slow down, birds scatter, phones lose signal. And for the first time, the people who laughed aren't laughing because something inside them whispers, this isn't normal. Meanwhile, somewhere, someone closes their eyes and smiles, not scared, not shocked, just peaceful, like they've been waiting for this sound their whole life, like their heart recognizes it, like heaven just called their name. And in that exact moment, the difference between culture and faith becomes crystal clear, because one group prepared their soul and the other prepared their schedule. One stored treasure in heaven, the other stored likes and followers. One trusted God quietly, the other trusted the world loudly. And now, every second feels heavier, every breath feels sharper, every heartbeat louder, like something is about to happen, like reality itself is standing on the edge, like the next moment could change everything.
and people are still looking up at the sky, trying to understand what they're seeing.
And people are still looking up at the sky, trying to understand what they're seeing. Some cover their eyes. Some pull out their phones. Some start laughing nervously. Probably just a storm, maybe military jets. Relax, it's nothing. Nothing. That word again. Humans always say nothing when they don't understand something. But deep down, their chest feels tight, because this doesn't feel like nothing. The air feels different, heavy, still, like the whole world just held its breath. Dogs start barking for no reason, car alarms randomly go off, birds fly in strange circles, a baby begins crying uncontrollably, and nobody knows why. A man at the party looks around. The music suddenly sounds annoying. The jokes aren't funny anymore. The drink in his hand feels pointless. Just 10 minutes ago, he was laughing at his friend who said, "Jesus is coming soon." Now that same sentence keeps replaying in his mind, over and over, like an echo, like a warning he ignored. Across the city, a woman who prayed every night is sitting quietly on her couch, Bible still open, tears in her eyes. Not fear, not panic, just expectation. Like she knows something, like her spirit senses something her eyes can't see yet. She whispers, "Lord, is it time?" No one taught her that feeling. It's not logic, it's not science, it's faith, pure faith. Meanwhile, news channels start reporting strange things, unusual atmospheric activity, mass communication glitches, power fluctuations across multiple states. Anchors trying to stay calm, experts pretending they understand, throwing out big words, solar disturbance, magnetic shift, weather anomaly. Because culture always needs an explanation. But sometimes there is no scientific explanation. Sometimes it's spiritual, and that scares people more. Because you can't control spiritual. You can't predict God. You can't schedule prophecy. It doesn't fit into algorithms. It doesn't follow trends. It just happens, suddenly, unexpectedly, exactly when nobody thinks it will. And that's what Jesus said, right? Like a thief in the night. Not during a disaster movie, not with countdown timers, but during normal life, regular life, everyday life. Work shifts, text messages, grocery shopping, someone arguing over gas prices, someone posting selfies, someone planning next year's vacation, all while eternity is quietly stepping closer, step by step by step. A group of friends who were mocking earlier start feeling uneasy. One of them checks his phone. No signal. Another tries to joke. "Yo, imagine if this is actually that Rapture thing." Nobody laughs this time, because now it doesn't sound funny. It sounds possible. And possibility is terrifying when you're not ready. One guy remembers his grandma, how she used to pray every night, how she used to say, "Baby, stay close to Jesus. One day he's coming back." He used to roll his eyes, thought she was old school, outdated. Now he wishes he had listened more. Funny how truth sounds crazy until it starts happening. Across town, church bells start ringing, not planned, not scheduled, just swinging in the wind, slow, heavy, echoing through empty streets. Some believers gathering, holding hands, praying harder, not begging to escape, not crying in fear, but steady, calm, like soldiers waiting for their commander. Because to them, this isn't destruction. This is promise. This is home. This is the moment they've talked about their whole lives. The moment culture laughed at. The moment movies made fun of. The moment memes turned into jokes. But now, nobody's joking. Because when eternity brushes against reality, everything changes.
Money feels useless. Fame feels tiny. Arguments feel stupid. All those important things suddenly mean nothing. And the only question left in every heart is, am I ready? Not rich enough, not famous enough, not successful enough. Ready. Spirit ready. Soul ready. And the sky keeps getting brighter. Not like sunrise, not like lightning. Something else. Something alive. Like light with presence. Like glory. People shielding their eyes, falling silent. Because deep inside, everyone feels it now. Something bigger than humanity. Bigger than governments. Bigger than science. Something eternal. Something holy. And somewhere in the middle of the chaos, that same quiet believer stands up, heart pounding, hands shaking, but smiling, like they've been waiting their whole life to hear the next sound that's about to break through the sky.
The wind starts moving differently. Not stronger, not louder, just strange. Like the air itself is vibrating, like something invisible is passing through the atmosphere. People feel it on their skin first. Tiny chills, goosebumps, even though it's not cold. A teenager looks at his arms. Yo, why do I feel weird? His friend shrugs, but he feels it too. That unexplainable pressure in the chest, like your heart knows something your brain hasn't figured out yet. Phones begin glitching, screens flicker, live streams freeze, comments stop loading. It's like the world's digital noise is slowly shutting down, one by one, like someone's pulling plugs from reality. Because maybe this moment was never meant to be recorded. Maybe it's meant to be witnessed, raw, personal, face to face with truth. Across the highway, cars start stopping, drivers stepping out, looking up. Nobody honking anymore, nobody rushing. For the first time in years, the world isn't in a hurry. It's just staring at the sky. That same sky people ignored every day, too busy, too distracted, too entertained. Now it's the only thing that matters. Clouds begin separating. Not like normal wind movement, not drifting, not spreading. They're parting, like curtains opening, slow, majestic, intentional. And that light behind them, it's not sunlight, it's warmer, deeper, almost golden, like liquid fire, but peaceful, not burning, calling. Some people fall to their knees without knowing why. Others start crying, not sad tears, not happy tears, just overwhelmed, like their soul suddenly remembered something ancient, something it forgot a long time ago, a memory older than this world, a memory of belonging somewhere else, somewhere higher. Meanwhile, the group that was laughing earlier, silent now. One guy whispers, "Bro, what if we were wrong?" Nobody answers because everyone is thinking the same thing. All those debates, all those jokes, all those comments like religion is fake, God isn't real, it's all myth. But right now, none of that confidence exists because confidence disappears when reality shows up. One girl opens her Bible app, but it won't load, so she just closes her eyes, starts praying for the first time in years. Not fancy words, not church words, just raw. God, if you're real, please. Her voice cracks, and that prayer feels heavier than every speech she ever gave. Because fear strips away ego, and truth strips away pride. Somewhere else, a little kid asks his mom, "Mom, why does the sky look like that?" She doesn't know what to say. How do you explain prophecy to a child? How do you explain eternity? So she just hugs him tighter, like instinct, like protection, like love is the only thing that still makes sense. Sirens start going off in the distance. Police, ambulances, emergency alerts. But even they sound small now, tiny, like background noise, because something much bigger is happening. Something no government can control, no army can stop, no scientist can analyze. Heaven isn't asking permission, it's just moving. And the light, it's getting closer, not spreading outward, coming down, closer to earth, closer to people, closer to this exact moment. Hearts racing, breaths short, time feels weird, like seconds are stretching longer, like the world is slowing down, like reality itself is preparing for something massive. A preacher standing on the sidewalk starts shouting, I told you he's coming." But his voice isn't angry, it's broken, because even he didn't expect it to feel this real, this heavy, this holy. Faith hits different when it turns into sight, when belief becomes visible, when stories become reality, and suddenly every single person realizes something at the same time. Not money, not followers, not success, not culture, not opinions. None of it matters. Only one thing matters. Where do I stand with God? That question hits harder than thunder, harder than fear, harder than anything, because deep down, everyone knew this day could come. They just thought, not today, not now, not in my lifetime. But history never asks what you planned, and prophecy never checks your schedule. The clouds keep opening wider, that golden light pouring through stronger, almost like a doorway forming in the sky, and a low sound begins to build, soft at first, like a distant hum, but growing, deeper, stronger, vibrating through buildings, through the ground, through every heartbeat, like something ancient, like something powerful, like something about to shake the entire world.
That sound keeps rising. Not music, not thunder, not wind. Something deeper, like the earth itself is humming, like the universe just took a breath. People cover their ears, but it's not outside noise, it's inside. Inside their chest, inside their bones, every heartbeat syncing with it. Boom, boom, boom. Slower than fear, heavier than drums, like time is marching and every step is closer. Streetlights start flickering, car alarms randomly going off, dogs barking non-stop, birds taking off all at once like they sensed a predator. Nature knows, before humans ever do. Nature always knows. A guy drops his phone while filming, screen cracks on the pavement, but he doesn't even pick it up. For the first time in his life, nothing on that screen matters. No likes, no views, no followers, just the sky, just that light, just that feeling that something bigger than everything is happening right now. A church bell starts ringing somewhere. Nobody touched it. It's just swinging back and forth by itself. Ding, ding, ding. Each ring echoing through empty streets like a warning or maybe an invitation. On the rooftop of an apartment building, a girl whispers, "This can't be real. This can't be real." But her voice shakes because deep down, she knows it is. People who never prayed before start praying. People who never believed start remembering Bible verses they heard as kids, verses they forgot. But somehow, their mind is pulling them back like old files reopening. Every knee shall bow, like lightning from the east. No one knows the day or hour. Why do those words feel alive right now? Why does every prophecy suddenly sound less like religion and more like news headlines? Traffic cameras freeze, news stations lose signal, anchors stutter mid-sentence, reports of unusual lights in the static, black screen. Because some events don't wait for coverage. They don't ask for permission to trend. They just happen, raw, unfiltered.
Heaven doesn't need a broadcast, it needs attention. And now, everyone's attention is locked. A man who mocked believers his whole life drops to his knees in the parking lot, hands shaking, tears falling fast, not even sure why he's crying. It's like guilt just hit him all at once. Every lie, every mistake, every moment he pushed God away, all flashing through his mind like a movie he never wanted to watch. Because when truth shows up, you can't hide from yourself anymore. Across town, a small group is singing, softly, not scared, not running, just singing worship songs, their voices trembling but peaceful, like they've been waiting for this, like they always knew this day would come. Fear on one side, faith on the other, same sky, two totally different reactions. That's the difference. It was never about what you saw, it was about what you believed before you saw it. The clouds now look like they're stretching open forever. Not just one spot, the whole sky, like reality itself is tearing. Golden light pouring down in waves, touching rooftops, touching streets, touching faces. Some people step back, others step forward, like they're being pulled, like gravity changed direction, up instead of down. A little boy suddenly points upward and smiles. "Mom, look, people!" She squints, and her heart stops. Tiny shapes, far above, but clear. Silhouettes, moving, not falling, rising. Slow at first, then faster, like sparks floating into the air, like stars being born, or maybe like souls going home. Gasps everywhere, phones dropped, cars abandoned. Nobody cares about anything else now, because this isn't theory anymore. This isn't debate. This isn't maybe someday. This is happening right now, right here. And that sound, that deep, ancient sound, it changes, it sharpens, transforms into something louder, clearer, like a call, like a signal, like something that was written before time even began, and now it's finally being played.
And that signal doesn't fade. It grows, stronger, sharper, like a trumpet made of light. Not loud in the ears, loud in the soul. The kind of sound that goes straight through you, like it knows your name, like it's calling something buried deep inside your chest. People freeze mid-step. A woman running stops like time paused her. Coffee slips from her hand in slow motion, splashing across the sidewalk. She doesn't even notice, because suddenly, everything feels heavier, then lighter, then weightless, like gravity forgot how to work. Some people clutch their chest, not pain, something else, like their heart is responding, like it recognizes that sound, like I've heard this before, somewhere, long ago. A construction worker drops his helmet. It rolls across the street. Clank, 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 echoing too loud in the silence. Because now, the whole city feels quiet. No traffic, no chatter, even the wind stopped. It's like the world itself is holding its breath, waiting. Clouds above begin swirling faster, not storm clouds, brighter, gold and white, moving like oceans in the sky, rolling layer over layer. Light pouring through the cracks like heaven can't stay hidden anymore. Someone whispers, "Is this the end?" But another voice nearby says, "No, this feels like the beginning." And somehow, that feels more accurate, because it doesn't feel like destruction, it feels like separation, like something invisible is dividing, like two worlds overlapping, and now they're pulling apart. Two frequencies, two destinies, standing side by side for years, finally choosing directions. A teenage boy stares at his reflection in a car window. His eyes look different, wide, shiny. He mutters,
I should have listened. I should have listened. Memories flood back. Every time his grandma told him to pray, every Sunday he skipped church, every joke he made about faith. Suddenly, none of it feels funny. Suddenly, it feels heavy. Regret hits faster than fear. Across the street, an old man smiles, actually smiles, tears rolling down his face, hands lifted like he's greeting someone he's waited his whole life to meet. He whispers, "Finally, Lord." No panic, no confusion, just peace. The kind of peace you can't fake, the kind that only comes when your heart already made its choice years ago. That contrast hits hard. Some screaming, some crying, some worshiping. Same sky, different souls. Because this moment isn't about proof anymore. It's about preparation. Not, do you believe now, but were you ready before? Sirens start wailing somewhere far away, then more, then dozens, emergency vehicles rushing with no idea where to go. How do you respond to heaven opening? There's no protocol for that, no training, no manual. Science has no button for this. A reporter tries going live again, camera shaking. This is unlike anything we've ever seen. People are reporting disappearances, cars left running, clothes on the ground but no one inside. Static again, signal gone. Because some things can't be explained on TV. They're felt deep in your bones. A mother suddenly looks around. Her little daughter was holding her hand, now empty. Just her tiny jacket on the sidewalk, still warm. The mom drops to her knees, sobbing, calling her name over and over, but the air answers with silence. Not cruel, just final. Like something sacred already happened, like heaven moved faster than tears. And others are noticing the same thing. Empty chairs, open doors, phones ringing with no one to answer, little gaps appearing everywhere, like pieces of the world quietly removed, not taken violently, just lifted, chosen, like sparks drifting upward into that endless glow. The light intensifies again, brighter than sunrise, brighter than anything human eyes were meant to handle. People shield their faces, but some don't need to. Some are walking towards it, not forced, drawn, like magnets, like home calling them back. Their steps slow, then lighter, then their feet barely touch the ground. Clothes flutter, hair lifting, like invisible hands gently pulling upward. And their faces, not fear, not shock, just relief, like the longest journey is finally over, like every prayer they ever whispered just got answered at once. The trumpet sound rises higher, higher, vibrating through buildings, through streets, through hearts. And now, others feel it too, a strange warmth in their chest, a pull, a choice forming. Stay or step forward. Because something is happening in this exact second, something dividing eternity from seconds, and people can feel that this window, this tiny, fragile moment, isn't staying open forever. The sky keeps stretching wider, light spilling farther, touching everything, and the air feels charged, like the next breath might change everything.
Like the next breath might change everything. Nobody wants to inhale. Nobody wants to exhale. Because even breathing feels loud now. The world has never been this quiet. Not 3 a.m. quiet, not power outage quiet. This is different. This is holy quiet. Like creation itself just bowed its head. Like the earth knows its king is near.
A man drops his keys. The tiny metallic clink echoes across the parking lot like thunder. That's how silent it is. Every small sound feels massive. Every movement feels slow, like time got stretched, like seconds turned into minutes. People aren't talking anymore. They're just staring upward at that sky that doesn't look like sky anymore. It looks alive, moving, breathing, layers of light folding into each other, gold inside white, white inside blue, like a doorway opening wider and wider. And the air feels warmer now, not heat, not fire, something softer, like standing close to a fireplace in winter, comforting, safe, but powerful. So powerful it makes your knees weak. Some people collapse without realizing it, not from fear, from presence, like their bodies can't handle the weight of something divine. A girl who hasn't prayed in years suddenly whispers, "God, I'm sorry," over and over, tears pouring down her face. She doesn't even know what she's apologizing for specifically. Everything, nothing, just everything. Because when truth stands right in front of you, your heart remembers every moment you ignored it. Across the street, an old pastor stands still, hands folded, eyes closed, soft smile, like he's been rehearsing this moment his whole life. People run past him in panic, but he doesn't move. He just whispers, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Like someone finally came home, like faith just turned into sight, like decades of believing without proof suddenly became the most obvious reality in existence. The light pulses again, stronger, and that sound, that deep, ancient trumpet cuts through the sky once more, long, clear, unmistakable. It doesn't sound like an instrument, it sounds alive, like a voice made of sound, calling, summoning, commanding. And something strange starts happening. People feel lighter, not emotionally, physically. A boy jumps in fear and stays in the air half a second too long, like gravity loosened its grip. He lands and looks at his feet. What? Others feel it too. Steps softer, bodies lighter, like the ground doesn't own them anymore, like the ground is slowly letting go. Car doors left open, engines still running, coffee still steaming on tables, life frozen mid-action, like the whole planet paused between two frames of a movie. Because this moment, this exact second, is bigger than history, bigger than wars, bigger than nations, bigger than anything humanity ever argued about. All those debates suddenly feel childish. All those fights suddenly pointless. Politics, money, fame, status, gone, meaningless, because none of it can help you now. Only one thing matters: where your heart stands. That's it. Nothing else crosses your mind. No career, no followers, no plans. Just one quiet question echoing inside every soul. Am I His? And some people know instantly, yes. And peace washes over them like warm rain, calm, steady, certain, while others feel cold, empty, like they missed something important, like they heard the invitation too late. And that difference, that invisible difference, is clearer than anything else in the world. The sky keeps opening, wider, brighter, almost too bright to look at, but nobody can look away. Because deep down, every human knows this is it. Not a movie, not a theory, not a sermon. This, right here, reality unfolding, heaven touching earth, eternity stepping into time. The wind begins moving upward now, not sideways, up, pulling dust,
leaves, paper, everything gently rising, like the whole world is being lifted, like the direction of existence just changed. And somewhere in the middle of the glowing sky, something starts forming. Shapes inside the light, movement inside the brilliance, like figures, like thousands, like an army made of radiance, descending slowly through the clouds, and every heartbeat on earth sinking with that sight as the air trembles again, and that same call echoes deeper and closer and stronger, like it's about to break through completely, and people feel their chest tighten and their feet barely touching the ground, and their souls pulling upward inch by inch, as if the next single moment might finally tip everything over into something irreversible.
As if the next single moment might finally tip everything over into something irreversible. The air feels thinner now, not hard to breathe, just different, like oxygen mixed with light. Every inhale feels sharp, electric, like your lungs are tasting something not from this world. People's hair starts lifting slightly, clothes fluttering upward. Not wind, no breeze, just pull, upward, a direction gravity was never supposed to have. A man grabs a street pole to steady himself, his hands shaking. What is happening? What is happening? But nobody answers because everyone feels it. That same invisible force, gentle but undeniable, like invisible hands reaching down, or maybe reaching up. Sirens in the distance begin cutting out one by one. Police cars abandoned mid-road, doors open, lights still flashing, no drivers, just emptiness. Like the world is slowly being edited, frame by frame, piece by piece. Some people gone, some still standing. No pattern the eye can see. But there is one, there's always one, just not visible to human logic. A woman clutches her necklace with a small cross. She presses it against her lips, crying quietly, not begging, not screaming, just whispering, "I trust you, I trust you," over and over, like a child repeating the only words that feel safe. And strangely, her fear melts, her shoulders relax, her tears slow, because trust feels stronger than terror. Across the block, someone who mocked faith his whole life is pacing fast, breathing hard. No, 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 this isn't real, this isn't real. But denial sounds weaker now, like a broken shield, because when the sky literally opens above you, atheism feels very small, very fragile, like paper in the rain. The light grows brighter again, not blinding, but pure, so pure it almost hurts emotionally, like standing too close to something perfectly clean, perfectly holy, and suddenly people feel exposed, not physically, spiritually, like every secret thought, every hidden action, every lie, every regret, all visible, nothing covered, nothing hidden. It's like standing in front of truth itself, and truth doesn't shout, it just exists, heavy, unavoidable. Some fall to their knees instantly, others back away slowly, because presence reveals everything, and not everyone feels ready to be seen like that. The clouds above swirl faster now, massive spirals of gold and white, like galaxies turning, like the sky became an ocean and something is moving through it, huge, majestic, not rushing, just approaching, steady, intentional. The trumpet-like sound echoes again, but closer this time, so close it vibrates the ground. Windows tremble, car alarms trigger again, hearts pound in sync with it. Boom, 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 like heaven's heartbeat
matching your own. A boy looks at his mom. "Mom, I feel funny." She kneels, hugs him tight, but then she feels it too, that warmth in her chest, spreading, like sunlight inside her ribs, like something unlocking. Her fear fades instantly, replaced with peace so deep it doesn't make sense. She laughs softly through tears, not because it's funny, because it's beautiful. Like finally understanding something you waited your whole life to understand. People nearby notice something strange, tiny particles in the air, like glowing dust, like sparks, floating upward, not falling, rising, everywhere, touching skin, clothes, hair, and wherever those sparks brush someone who's calm, who's ready, who's trusting, they glow a little brighter, almost like recognition, like light recognizing light. Meanwhile, others feel nothing, just cold air, just confusion, just regret. That contrast is terrifying. Two people standing shoulder to shoulder, same moment, same sky, completely different experience. Because this moment was never about location, it was about the heart. The pull grows stronger, feet barely touching pavement now. Some people gripping cars, benches, fences, not wanting to move. Others letting go, hands open, eyes lifted, like they've been waiting their entire life for permission to leave. And the sky, it's no longer just light. It looks like a doorway now, vast, endless, brilliant beyond imagination, shapes moving inside it, thousands, maybe millions, like silhouettes made of glory, descending slowly, like an army of stars, like heaven itself leaning down to earth. Every sound fades again, no wind, no sirens, no voices, just that low, holy vibration in the air. And every single person can feel it in their chest that the next second, the very next second, is going to be the one that changes everything.
Is going to be the one that changes everything. That strange vibration in the air grows steadier, not louder, just deeper, like it's settling into the bones of the earth, like the ground itself is humming. People press their hands to their chests because their hearts are syncing with it now. Beat, beat, beat. Not fast, not scared. Slow, heavy, sacred, like the world's oldest drum. And with every beat, the light above pulses, soft, then brighter, soft, then brighter, like heaven breathing. In, out, in, out. A man tries to speak, but his voice cracks. Does anyone else feel that? Nobody answers, because everyone feels it. Words don't matter anymore. Language feels useless. How do you describe something eternal with human vocabulary? You can't. You just stand there, small, still, aware. A group of teenagers who were filming everything for social media slowly lower their phones, one by one, screens going dark. Not because batteries died, because recording suddenly feels disrespectful, like you wouldn't film a sunrise at the exact moment God paints it. Some moments aren't for content, they're for the soul. One girl whispers, "This feels holy," and nobody laughs at her, because it does. It feels like church, but bigger, like prayer, but louder. Like every worship song ever written suddenly came alive in the sky. Across the street, a businessman in a suit drops his briefcase. Papers scatter everywhere. Contracts, deals, numbers, all the things he thought mattered. They blow across the pavement like trash, and he doesn't chase them, doesn't even look. Because for the first time, money feels imaginary, like monopoly bills, meaningless.
Because what can money buy right now? Nothing. Not time, not forgiveness, not eternity. Only faith matters here. Only the heart. The pull upward gets stronger. Leaves lifting off the ground, dust spiraling slowly into the air. Even small stones trembling like they want to rise, like gravity is quietly losing the argument. A woman grabs her friend's arm. "Hold me, I feel like I'm floating." And she is, barely, just an inch, but it's enough. Enough to make her cry, not out of fear, out of realization. This is really happening. Somewhere far away, church choirs start singing. Nobody organized it, nobody planned it, but voices rise from different neighborhoods, different streets, same song, like the Spirit itself started conducting. Soft worship filling the air, not loud, not dramatic, just gentle, peaceful, like a lullaby before something beautiful. And mixed with that singing, that trumpet sound returns. Longer this time, clearer, so pure it almost feels like light instead of sound. It rolls across the sky like thunder made of gold, through buildings, through mountains, through hearts. Calling, not scaring, calling, like a father standing at the door saying, "Come home." And something shifts inside people, not outside, inside, like a lock turning, like chains breaking you didn't even know were there. Old fears gone, old guilt gone, just lightness. Some people suddenly laugh through tears, not crazy laughter, free laughter, like children, like the weight of the world just slid off their shoulders, like they were never meant to carry it anyway. One old lady lifts her hands and says, "I've waited my whole life for this." Her voice steady, strong, no fear, just gratitude, like someone who packed their bags years ago and has been standing by the door ever since. Cars sit empty in intersections, engines still running, radio music playing softly with no one inside, a coffee cup still steaming on a cafe table, a book open mid-page. Life paused everywhere, like the earth itself stopped mid-sentence, because something bigger is writing the next line. The sky tears wider again, that doorway of light stretching beyond sight, not just above one city, everywhere, as far as you can see, horizon to horizon, heaven touching the whole world at once. And inside that light, movement, shapes clearer now, figures, radiant, countless, descending like stars falling in slow motion, not crashing, gliding, graceful, majestic. Every single person feels smaller than they've ever felt, but, strangely, more loved than they've ever felt too. Like being known completely, no hiding, no pretending, just seen, fully, perfectly. And the closer those shapes get, the stronger the pull becomes. Shoes barely touching the ground, hearts pounding gently, breaths shallow, like the earth is loosening its grip second by second, like the next heartbeat might be the one where everything lifts at once, and every eye is locked on the sky, and every soul feels that invisible line pulling tighter and tighter and tighter
And tighter, like an invisible thread tied around every heartbeat, pulling, not forcing, just calling, gentle, but impossible to ignore. People don't even talk anymore. No one's asking questions, no one's arguing, because what do you say when heaven is literally opening above you? Debates die fast in moments like this. Opinions feel tiny. All those late-night arguments about God, truth, faith, science, suddenly they feel like kids fighting over shadows. Because now, truth isn't a theory. It's right there, glowing, breathing, moving across the sky.
A man slowly takes off his watch, stares at it. The ticking sounds louder than ever. Tick, tick, tick. Then it stops. Not broken, just frozen. Time itself feels stuck, like the world reached the edge of a second and can't go forward. Like eternity just stepped in and said, wait. Traffic lights stay red, then green, then red again, but no one moves. Nobody cares anymore. Appointments, meetings, deadlines, all meaningless. Because when forever shows up, schedules disappear. A soft wind brushes past, but it's warm, almost glowing. It carries a scent too, clean, fresh, like rain mixed with sunlight, like the first morning of creation. People inhale it without realizing, and every breath feels lighter, like something heavy inside their chest is dissolving. Old anger, old pain, old regrets melting away. Because standing this close to something holy, you can't hold on to darkness. It just falls off you. Across the street, two strangers lock eyes. No words, just understanding. Like both of them know, this is it. One of them smiles through tears, not scared, not confused, just peaceful. Like someone who finally sees the shore after swimming for years. The sky pulses again, brighter now. So bright shadows disappear. There are no dark spots left. Light touching everything equally. Buildings glowing, windows shining, skin almost radiant, like the whole world dipped in gold. And those shapes inside the light, they're closer, much closer now. Not blurry anymore, defined, tall, brilliant, like figures made of fire and mercy at the same time, countless, stretching farther than the eye can see. And the sound, that deep trumpet-like call, turns into something layered now, not just one tone, many, like thousands of harmonies stacked together, like choirs made of thunder and light. A sound that doesn't just hit your ears, it hits your soul. Some people drop to their knees instantly, not because they choose to, because their body can't stand anymore. The weight of glory too heavy, like gravity flipped, and now heaven is heavier than earth. A young boy laughs, actually laughs, pointing upward. They're coming! So simple, so innocent, like kids recognize truth faster than adults ever could. His mom cries quietly beside him, holding his hand tighter, not to keep him down, but because she doesn't want to let go. Even though deep down, she knows this moment was never about holding. It was always about trusting. Phones begin shutting off completely now, not dying, just blank, black screens, like technology doesn't belong in this scene. Like heaven doesn't run on batteries. Sirens stop, engines die, electric hums fade, one by one, all man-made noise disappearing, until there's nothing left but wind, breathing, and that holy vibration in the sky, pure, undisturbed. The world has never been this quiet, not even in history. Not even before cities existed. This is deeper, like creation itself is bowing, waiting, watching. And people start feeling it stronger now, that upward pull, heels lifting, hair rising, loose objects floating slightly before dropping back down, like gravity is confused, like the earth doesn't know who belongs to it anymore. Some cling to benches, poles, car doors, fear gripping their faces. Others slowly open their hands,
letting go, like birds testing their wings, like they've been practicing surrender their whole lives. A girl closes her eyes and whispers, "I'm ready." And the moment she says it, a warmth spreads through her whole body, from chest to arms to fingertips, like light flowing through her veins, like something inside her answering, "So am I." And above, the sky stretches even wider, if that's even possible, at doorway of brilliance now covering everything, not just overhead, but everywhere you look, like earth and heaven overlapping, like two worlds sliding into each other, and the air trembling harder now, stronger, thicker, charged, like the next second isn't just another second, like it's the line between everything that was and everything that's about to begin.
And everything that's about to begin. That line in the air feels real, like you could almost see it. Behind you, the world you've always known. Bills, deadlines, noise, stress, all of it suddenly small, like yesterday's dream. And in front of you, light, endless, warm, alive. The pull upward grows stronger now, not violent, not rushed, just steady, like invisible hands guiding you home. People stop fighting it, stop grabbing walls, stop clinging to cars, because something inside them finally understands. You were never meant to stay here forever. This earth was always temporary, a waiting room, not the destination. A man slowly releases the street pole he's been gripping, his hands trembling. For a second, fear flashes across his face. Then peace washes over him. He whispers, "Jesus, I'm yours." And the fear disappears instantly, like it was never real, like it never had power. Across the road, that old pastor opens his eyes, tears falling freely now, but he's smiling wider than ever. He lifts both hands toward the sky, not begging, not asking, just welcoming, like greeting an old friend. "Lord, you kept your promise." The light above responds with another pulse, brighter than before. But now it doesn't hurt to look. It feels right, like staring at home after years away. The trumpet sound echoes again, but softer this time, gentler, not a warning anymore, more like a call of victory, like the sound after a long battle finally ends. People begin rising, slowly, quietly, feet leaving the ground like feathers, not jumping, not flying, just lifted, as if gravity finally said, "They don't belong to me." A little girl laughs as she floats upward, reaching for her mom's hand. Her mom joins her seconds later, both wrapped in that golden glow, not scared, just light, like burdens fell off their souls, like every tear they ever cried got erased in one breath. Others watch in awe, some crying, some whispering prayers, some standing frozen, realizing too late what this moment means. But for those who trusted, for those who waited, for those who kept even the smallest spark of faith alive, this isn't chaos, it's reunion, it's promise, it's homecoming. The sky is filled with movement now, countless souls rising like sparks toward a sunrise, each one glowing, each one peaceful, like stars returning to the heavens. And those radiant figures in the clouds, closer now, so close you can feel their presence, not threatening, comforting, strong, holy, like an army made of love and fire. The world below grows quieter, cars empty, streets still, buildings silent. All the noise that once felt so important, gone, like someone muted the planet.
because heaven doesn't shout, it simply arrives. One last breeze passes through, soft, warm, carrying that same clean, fresh scent, like the first morning of eternity, the kind of air that fills your lungs and makes you feel brand new. No pain, no regret, no fear, just peace. Deep, endless, perfect peace. A boy looks down at the ground one last time, at the streets he grew up on, at the life he knew, and instead of sadness, he feels gratitude, because it was never goodbye, it was graduation. He smiles softly, then looks up and lets go. Higher, higher, closer to the light, closer to the sound, closer to something more beautiful than words could ever explain. And as the last golden glow spreads across the sky, earth growing smaller, heaven growing brighter, every heartbeat slowing into calm, every worry fading into nothing, everything wrapped in warmth and light, it doesn't feel like an ending at all. It feels like stepping through a door that was always there, like finally waking up after a long night, like finally going home.